So over the last few months, I've heard people say that the phrase fuck cancer is pointless and people really shouldn't do it. And there's been sort of a mild level, at least, of backlash against people saying fuck cancer. And to be honest, I can understand where people are coming from with that. On the other hand, I've lost family to cancer. I've had cancer scares myself. I've got family members who are currently dealing with cancer. I just had a relative who died on the table for several minutes during a cancer operation. I want to say that while I haven't actually suffered from cancer myself, as somebody who's been family, who's watched people fading away, who's watched people suffering, and who's dealt with people who have come very, very close to death, that there is a level of immediacy to phrases like fuck cancer or any sort of other mild outrage one might express. It's cathartic and it feels better than nothing. Objectively, there are better things that you can do in the long term. You can be there for your friends and family. You can contribute either financially or even just volunteer your time to cancer organizations, to charity. There are probably other things that don't immediately come to mind as I'm recording this video that you could do to help people. But in that moment, in that pain, when you're watching somebody that you care about drift away, when you're watching them hurt, well, giving money to a charitable organization doesn't really have the same sort of effect. And I don't know, maybe we as a culture should develop some sort of swear jar equivalent. Put $1 in the cancer jar when you feel like just screaming at the world because things are so fucked up and you're losing somebody that you care about. But the reality is that while this isn't the most productive thing, it is a coping mechanism for a good number of people. When you go after people who are saying fuck cancer, it's probably coming from a place of good intention. It's probably something that you're not doing to shit on other people. Maybe it is. I can't read minds yet. But cancer can turn really awful really quick. I mean, the best case scenarios, you can get treated early. It can be dealt with in a way that you can recover at least most of your life and somewhat move on. But it can turn really nasty really quick. It can take months or years to treat, and that's assuming that you end up with some sort of prognosis where you actually walk away in the end. And even then, the most aggressive treatments don't guarantee success. One of my oldest friends, his mom had a form of lung cancer where the prognosis was pretty good, and after months of treatment, things were looking really good. She took a sudden turn and she was dead in like 2 weeks. And I mean, it's an awful thing to deal with, but at like 16 we grew up understanding this reality that that's exactly how it unfolds. These things are not kind. They don't happen gently, and even the best case scenarios aren't a guarantee. And I get that people are trying to help. They want to do something. They want other people to do things. But to tell somebody that they're not being helpful in itself isn't helpful, because they're probably going through something at this point. They're probably dealing with their own issues or dealing with the stresses of helping somebody. There are a lot of reasons that people get frustrated, they get tired, they get worn out by a disease that can be fucking monstrous. And sometimes that just comes out in these aggressive outbursts, things like fuck cancer. And I know that it's easy to say, but don't just assume that people are I don't know, virtue signaling, for lack of a better term. Be kind, be charitable, remember how common cancer is and how easy it is to lose somebody to cancer, especially in a fucking medical system where we don't put enough money into preventative care, and we make it so hard for so many people in the nation to get access to quality health care in order to do so. In short, be kind, judge slow, and fuck cancer. Thanks for listening. Amaranth out.